such a great matchup. Would be fun to see Luka and Zion in the playoffs this year, but not a guarantee. The Mavs and Pelicans both outside the top 10 in the West. That means they're not even in play-in game contention. Vince, which team do you think is more likely to get it together, make the playoffs, actually be in that final bracket?
It's a tough one. I honestly say neither. I think both teams right now. I mean, I think it all depends on what the Golden State Warriors do, and they're playing right now. They hold the 8th spot, and they're playing great basketball. I think for the Pelicans, losing Drew Holiday was a big loss for them right now. So I mean, we just have to see because. But if I had to pick one, I would say the Mavs because I think they're playing better basketball right now, but it can go back and forth. I think they're 10 and 11 in the standings, and we'll see what the second half brings because that's when it's money time, and these guys understand what it takes in the second half of the season. Luka's playing great basketball right now. They've been injured, but right now, I'll give it to the Mavs if you're twisting my arm to pick somebody.
What about you, Zach?
Hey, yeah, wait a second. I didn't know that neither was an option. I thought I had to pick somebody. When did neither become an option?
That's why I picked somebody.
I'm going to pick the Mavs because I actually think it's kind of impressive that the Mavs are 12 and 14, given how the virus and the related health and safety protocols just ravaged their team. They made it last year. We saw what Luka and KP did on the big stage. And I think they know what their identity is. They know who they are, and I think their roster is going to come together. The Pelicans are still finding out who they are, so I'll go Dallas, but I will say this. The Zion we've seen in the last 2 or 3 weeks, the one who's running a lot of pick and rolls, not just screening, but running a lot of pick and rolls and distributing, that guy, I think, locks New Orleans into a more cohesive identity, and that scares me a little bit if I'm the rest of the Western Conference. But I feel like New Orleans is going to go up and down a little bit more, and Dallas might go continuous up if they can just stay healthy and get together. So I'll say Dallas.
Yeah, I know we just sort of slough off COVID protocols, and we just sort of say that, or we say, oh, yeah, they had a lot of guys missed with COVID. I had a conversation with Josh Richardson where he was explaining to me his entire experience. I don't think we've shown enough what happens to the guys in this league when they are going through this while also trying to play a regular season. First of all, he tested positive for COVID on the road, which means he woke up in a random hotel room in Denver, and they told him, you can't leave for 10 days. Had none of his stuff, had not, anything. And then he had real symptoms, just like a lot of guys. We heard Karl Anthony Towns talk about this yesterday, where he had trouble breathing. Even when he comes back, he said trouble sort of getting his wind. We know Maxi Kleber on the Mavs also had a lot of trouble sort of readjusting and getting back into the pace of the game. So I'm with you on the Mavericks. I actually think 12 and 14 is impressive. They've won a big chunk of their recent games, and I'm interested to see if they climb out. But boy, Zion Williamson's still a problem and getting even more so. So we'll see. Absolutely. And you can see the playoff chances our BPI gives as well. All right, let's move on to the guy who beat out Zion for Rookie of the Year last season, Ja Morant, facing the Lakers tonight. Zach, you just featured him in your latest 10 Things column. Has Ja added to his game in year 2? Because in year 1, he won Rookie of the Year.
I'm all in on Ja Morant. And what has he added? I don't know if he's added anything as much as he's just getting better continuously. But I'll say one thing. He's even a more sophisticated passer than he was last year. And my favorite thing about him is a guy that fast and that athletic, he could hunt points every single time down the floor. He could play full throttle all the time, get ahead of his teammates, outrace the game. And Ja Morant doesn't play like that. He seeks out opportunities to get guys involved. He slows the game down. He knows how to manipulate the game in the half court. He's always looking for teammates. He'll get off the ball and work as a cutter for a little bit to get other people going. That kind of unselfishness, that kind of feel for what it means to be a point guard and a leader, that guy has it. And I'm all in on him, and I'm really hoping he continues to get better and does special things for Memphis.
And I agree with you, and I think just confidence in year 2. He has a season under his belt. He knows what to expect night in and night out. He understands what it feels like, what it takes to be prepared for teams to double team you. He knows what it takes when you're seeing double teams. Back-to-backs. You're playing 4 games in 5 nights or 4 games in 7 nights. All of this stuff is familiar to him now. So now you really get to see the true player, the real player, instead of them playing and guessing and trying to figure out what's going on. He's just comfortable and confident out there. And like you said, Zach, He's more efficient. He's unselfish. And what that's going to do is just going to have other players around the league, when they become free agents, wanting to play with him because of his unselfishness, even though he's a superstar.
Vince, you know this is my favorite question to ask you, since you have played against literally everyone for the last 2 decades of the NBA. When Ja Morant came into the league last year and you were on the court with him for the first time, what did you notice about him at court level, so to speak?
Well, outside of super athletic, right there, I knew he wanted to cross me over. I was like, nope, I'm going to foul you before you do that to me, one. That's why I looked at him and started laughing. I said, that's why he's laughing, because he knew he flopped. But anyway, I knew he was super athletic. And other than that, he's extremely comfortable and confident in his game. And as a rookie, he came in knowing, and he knew he belonged on that court. And that's what you can really see. It's not, and it wasn't cockiness. You know, sometimes you can come look at a guy and like, oh man, this guy is cocky. No, he was confident about who he is and knew he belonged.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.